Okay, now here we go. Another of these commonly asked job interview questions I really don't like. I have my opinions why I don't like them as a recruiter. To me, especially because you can get ready for them easily, so much like that. They don't say much. They just say about how you were ready for the questions, nothing about you. But let's train it anyway. So what are your strengths and weaknesses? I want to cover these two questions together, even though they might just ask you only about your weaknesses or only about your strengths. The reason why I want to cover them together is because even though they're going to have a different answer, the formula is very similar. So the reason why they might ask you this question is technically to look into your mindset. Again, for me, the question is too obvious. I would never ask it. I think I asked it maybe in my first half of a year of being a recruiter. And if I would ask them somebody, it would have been, like people who just finished their studies. So you cannot talk too much about your past experience. So if it's especially maybe your first job, maybe this is a good way actually how to find out something about you. And then you might be asked some of these like more obvious questions. Okay, so let's have a look into the formula. Let's kind of first have a look into the weaknesses formula. So if they ask you, what is your weakness? This is your formula. This is my weakness, and this is how I'm working on it. So they're gonna see that you have this growth mindset and that you want to learn. Obviously, choose a weekend that is not detrimental to you being in this job. If you are supposed to be working on shifts, your shift would be starting at 6 a.m. Probably the weakness you shouldn't share is that you cannot get yourself wake up in the morning. Choose something that's not going to hurt you so much. Still show that you're self-aware and so on. So it's definitely good to choose something that it's gonna show that you know what's going on with you, but you're still trying to improve. Again, a lame example that I have right now in my head, you need to make it suitable for you, is let's say if you're going to use the example of I have troubles getting up early. So you would say, you know what, to be honest, I was always, since my childhood, I was struggling with getting up early. So what I did is that right now, when I'm setting up my alarm clock, I'm putting it on the other side of the room so that I actually need to get up, and then I just take myself power through. I start my morning routine, and then I'm ready for the day. It sounds like a bullshit, but it still shows something like you're doing something and you're trying to improve. Again, this was more of a lame example. Please come up with something a little bit better. I just wanted you to understand how we would connect the formula. And also, formula sounds so, data driven. But when you heard me saying it, I hope it did sounded quite natural, right? Like you just say, yeah, but you know what, this is what I'm doing about it. The answer about what are your strengths is going to be similar when it comes to the formula. Again, it's the one thinking about mindset. And here you might want to trick the interviewer a little bit. So for example, again, they ask you, what are your strengths? You don't want to just say what your strengths are. You want to let them know that this is how these strengths are going to be beneficial for them when it comes to you doing the job. So the formula would be, this is my strength, and this is how I'm going to use that strength in my job. Let's say, again, another example. I'm going to say again something from the top of my head. So if it's again lame, I'm so sorry, but you need to fill in the blanks. So let's say that we're going to use, okay, you're applying for a sales position, okay? So you can say, you know what, I'm actually quite outgoing and I think I'm quite easy to talk to. And in my last sales job, this was always something that, was making my job so much quicker and faster and more successful because business development and getting a new client feels so easy to me because I connect with people so quickly and we form a relationship, and then to sell something to them is so much faster and so much easier. So you got it, something in this way. I hope this has been useful. Again, after all of these questions, take your time a little bit and think about how you could answer that, how you could connect it to your experience, what you're doing, to your personality, and how is the best way for you to answer that.